Well, hello and good morning. My name is KIERON SEAMONS. This is my inky channel where we're going to do some drawing today. And if you want to draw along with me, you are very welcome. I like to have a very positive, very exciting environment in my drawing channel. So today, I have no idea what we're going to be drawing, but we're going to be drawing something really cool and really funky. So, get your pen, get your paper, get your pencil, your ink, get your brushes, your whatever you want, and come and draw with me. Over here. This is my first drawing back after my eye surgery, and today I'm feeling about 80% on my eye, so I thought I'd give it a go. I have my oh wow. I have my my doctor's appointment in this afternoon, where I will be having a good look to see what kind of state my eye has returned or not returned. Very difficult to say at this point. So forgive me if things are not so perfect today, as I step back into something. Right, things are happening here. Things are, yeah, okay. I can see. I can. Yeah, I think I can see something. Now, at this stage, sometimes I kind of say, oh, it looks like an elephant, and then I end up drawing a rabbit or a donkey or something, you know. In fact, it does look a little bit like a rabbit. Okay, all right. So, let me just take that a little bit more. Let's drain that out. That's absolutely gorgeous. That's absolutely gorgeous. Oh, it's beautiful. Lucky, a very lucky start. The paintbrush has been very forgiving and very gifting. He has gifted me a... Oh. Look what I've just done. I've just broken my nib. Right, well, I can't use that one. And again, well, there you go. It's like, you know, a lot of people have been asking about nibs, and there's one that's a broken one. And now I'm going to use this one. Now, as you can see, that they are completely different shapes. And if I was to use this one, again, it's a completely different shape. So, for all those people that have been asking about nibs, yes, nibs are important. Yes, nibs make a difference. Yes, a good nib will give you a better drawing. You know, look at them. They're so different. But don't get hung up on it. Don't get hung up on the tool, you know. If you're going to bang a nail into a wood, you don't decide whether you use a big hammer or a little hammer, you know. The same with your nibs. Just choose a nib that just feels. And if you're drawing and it doesn't feel right, don't be afraid to swap it over for a different nib with a different look, a different shape. And in most cases, you will find that as much as the nib has importance in your drawing, it has also a lot to do with your mood. My mood this morning is slightly kind of nervous because of my doctor's appointment and such, but it also is to do with the weight of your hand. Now, you will find that when I'm drawing, you will find that sometimes when I'm talking and I get rather excited about something, you will also find that I break a lot of nibs because my hand gets heavy. When my excitement builds, my hand pushes down. When the excitement of that first line is always very thick or very crazy or very gentle. So it also is a very emotional thing. It's also about what type of artist are you? How do you draw? Do you draw very gently like that? Do you draw little pretty, gentle lines, so gentle that you don't want to scare the forest, you know? Are you so delicate with your line? If you're so delicate with your line, what does it matter what nib you use? Not really. If you're extremely heavy-handed like me and you thump the ink down, you thump that nib on the paper, and quite often you break it, again, you're so heavy that you're impacting the line, you know? And in most cases, I would say that unless you're extremely technical about what your line is doing, I wouldn't bother. I wouldn't be too going by, you know, my advice, and my advice has been the same for years now. My advice is go and buy 5 or 6, 10 nibs and try them out. Go and buy it like I always show you. I buy hundreds of little boxes. I buy loads of little boxes of nibs, or a handful of nibs. Sometimes I do little packets with mixed nibs. As I've shown you before, I show you a little packet. It's got 50 nibs in it, and they're all different. And you pay, I don't know, £20 or something for it. And what you will find is that every single nib will be different, because they're just throwing them all in a pot. They're not thinking about, should I do this or should I do that? Will it make more money if they're all gold colored? You know, they're just throwing them in a pot and hoping that somebody out there, some crazy artist, will come along and buy them, as I do. Now, I've got hundreds of nibs sitting around, and I never really am too fussy about if it's a thin nib, a thick nib. Some of these short, stubby nibs will give a difference to a long nib. Now, the short, stubby nib, as in the short, stubby of anything, will be less flexible. The shorter the nib, the less kind of bend. So it's going to be, all the lines will be quite even. With a long nib like that, the more you push it, the more it's going to open, the more ink you've got on it, the more it's going to flow, blah, blah, blah. So there's a little bit of kind of like common sense coming into that. But generally, for me, I like a little bit of movement in my nibs. I do like to see a nib that flexes a lot. And that doesn't mean these flexi nibs. I did have a flexi nib there the other day. And the flexi nibs have got these little cuts in it, and it makes the pen do this a lot. But then it kind of bends when I don't want it to. So I'm not really a fan of the flexi nib, as they're poshly called. Although you might pay like £20 for one of them. Why? I don't really see the point. So if you really want some kind of technical answer and you want to go and spend money, yes, this is the best nib you could ever buy in your entire life. It's old, it's rusty, it's going to snap at any point, but I love it. And I quite often break these. I can't remember what they're called. But I've got a box of those somewhere. And I use them very often, and they're nice. But it doesn't mean it's the best in my mind. You know, if I'm selling it, this is the nib, go and buy it. It's $20. Go buy it. Buy it now. It'll make you draw like whoever you love, you know? But that's kind of like selling people, you know? I like just to feel flow. I like to feel my energy. I like to feel that. If my energy is exciting and I'm bouncing around, then quite often I'm really pleased with what I've drawn. And because each one is different, each one I feel like this rabbit here, I feel like he's kind of looking a little bit kind of off to one side, a little bit unhappy about something, or a little bit nervous about something. Maybe he's waiting to go to the eye hospital as well, you know. But then I could add a little kind of faint smile to him, where it changes the whole feeling of it. Or now, all of a sudden, with that just a little line, you start to see a very shy rabbit, very coy, very kind of like, ooh, you know? And already you're starting to get excited about what that ink has done, your pencil line has done. Whatever tool you're using today, you will find that you can get excitement from it. You can get that enjoyment by feeling your character, by thinking about what he is feeling. Now I kind of feel like he should have a scarf. I feel like he should have some kind of big winter scarf. And again, don't be afraid to vary your line. I know a lot of people that have asked about Nibs, and I've gone to see their pages. Yes, I go and see your page. If you write to me on Instagram saying, please help me with my nib situation or whatever, I go and see what you're drawing. And you know, if you're drawing like superhero stuff or things like that, then in most cases, probably that little gold, little stubby nib there, as you can see it, is probably enough, because it's short. It's very difficult to get a thick and thin out of it. It's very difficult. Sometimes you're pushing it and it gives the same straight, consistent line. If you're doing that type of straight lined comics, then fantastic, wonderful. Some amazing artists out there. And I watch a lot of artists just for their enjoyment. And it doesn't mean that I follow the best of the best. Sometimes I love these. There was one recently with a woman kind of drawing her day. You know, it's like her sitting drinking cups of coffee, or her staring out the window or something. But the feeling of it was quite delicious, you know. And for me, I do love a messy drawing. I love the feeling of a messy drawing. I feel like it has become part of my style now, that I have very thin lines and very thick lines, and a very messy drawing and a very splashy, inky drawing. Then that's part of what I like. I just enjoy it. I feel it adds beauty to my drawing. But because you're drawing along with me, it doesn't mean you need to draw like me. You don't need to. Quite a few people have been sending me drawings saying, look, I draw like you. It's like, okay. Why? Why draw like me? Don't draw like me. Draw like you. This whole channel is about being you. Draw like you. Use whatever pen you want to use. Do you want to use a nib? Do you want to use a nib exactly like this? Fantastic. But draw your style. Draw what you love. And the style for me is always about what you love. I love drawing animals. I love drawing cute animals. But, you know, you might love drawing robots. Well, cool. Go and draw robots. Go and enjoy it. Go and love it. But it doesn't mean that you need to draw exactly like me or like your favorite comic book artist. You can draw your comic book style, you know? And in fact, there's a lady that I've just bought a piece from. I've just bought a piece of art, and her style is extremely far away from my style, my way of drawing. Very, very, very different. But that's why I'm buying it. I'm buying it because it's unusual. I'm buying it because for some reason it makes me feel good to look at it. So my drawing channel is for you to draw along, but to draw along the way you want to draw. You don't have to draw exactly like me. You can just draw whatever your little heart desires, whatever you're feeling good about. And I've drawn a few rabbits already, but maybe it's my kind of comfort blanket. I've drawn something like this before, so maybe it's an easy start for my eye to get back into this wonderful world of art and drawing. I will go and get my eye tested this afternoon, and I'm hoping it's the all clear, and I'm hoping I will be back to full passion and full excitement again, because drawing now and again is really not for me. Drawing every 5 minutes is me. Drawing all the time is me. Sketching and scribbling all the time is me. I am the type of person that, you know, it did make me laugh the other day. I saw these posts where people are kind of like saying, "Oh, I would love to date an artist." You would not want to date an artist. Okay, maybe you'd like to walk in and see all the lovely things they have drawn or painted or something. Yes, probably quite miraculously gorgeous. But when you say, "Hey, let's go roller skating," can you go roller skating and I'll stay and draw? Okay, let's go go-karting. Well, you go and I'll finish drawing my rabbit. So you probably wouldn't. Because being an artist is quite an obsessive lifestyle. For any artist that you know, you will find that they are quite obsessive in the way that they live and the way that they paint. You know, you might find that the person that you've fallen in love with has painted 50 chairs. Just chairs on a big canvas. And the canvases are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're filling your house. But every single day he paints different chairs. And you might think, well, this guy's a lunatic. But he loves it. And he loves it with a passion. And that is what an artist is. About enjoying your life and being you. And drawing what makes you feel amazing. Can you believe it? I've just broken another nib. Oh my God. That is the one that I said is the most perfect pen in the world for whoever wants to hear it. That's the most gorgeous pen, and I always pick that pen up. And one day it will break, I said. And it just happened to be today. So that's 2 nibs I have broken in today's drawing, which I'm not happy about. And I've actually got this tool here, which is kind of like a pair of pliers. And it's actually used for pulling frets out of instruments. But I found that it is actually perfect for pulling out very, 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 very trapped. And there's the other one there that I broke, and I'll pull this one out. Might be a bit easier. There you go. And sometimes, because I'm not very, very, very clean and well looked after with my nibs are my tools. So sometimes they are completely caked in. That one's got so much ink on it, you can't tell what's the wood and what's the... But anyway, 2 broken nibs and a lovely rabbit. There's a lovely drawing for today. I will be painting these up, as these will be going into the shop. I'm going to start to get back into the selling. It has been an extremely difficult year, 2025. It has been far too difficult to enjoy. So going back into the selling of my artwork. I've got about 50 pieces over on here. I did do a video yesterday, so if you see about 50 drawings there, you got fish, and you've got cats, and you've got ghosts, and you've got Loch Ness monsters, and you've got more ghosts. So you got tons and tons. There's about 50 of those there, and there's about another 25 there. So there's going to be lots of artwork coming up. I know that people have been asking for original artwork, and I did put a lot of stuff up onto the eBay, and 90% of it sold rapidly. So I'm going to do a lot more artwork that is going up for sale, and they will be painted up and they will look gorgeous. If you don't want painted up and you do want an ink drawing of something, let me know, and we shall sort something out. But that is today's drawing, a gorgeous inky rabbit, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a beautiful day, and I hope you will come back and you'll hit that subscribe button and come back for more drawings very soon. I'll see you soon. Fingers crossed for my eye this afternoon, and I will see you back here very soon. Bye bye. Have a great day.